Welcome to Subramani. I was in a class and somebody asked me what is the first step of investing. I think the first step of investing is goal setting, and when I say goal setting, the other way to look at it is to say know yourself, know what are your goals, and be sure that those are the goals that you want to adhere to. Because our goals keep changing, right? When you're a 5-year-old, you want that shiny red bike. When you're 21, you want that shiny motorcycle. Maybe when you're 45, you want that red Ferrari, right? It could be, the color could change, the vehicle could change. Any of these changes could happen. So find out what you really want. If you're married, sit with your spouse and children, or maybe sit with your parents. Find out what you really want. Once you know that, write down your goals. That is step one towards investing. Some people some people like to go on a vacation, some people like to buy things. See what gives you legitimate happiness. Based on that, make your goals. Even when somebody wants to buy a bicycle or go on a vacation and they ask me which bicycle should I buy, the question is not which bicycle is good. The question is what suits you, how much are you going to ride, right? If you're buying for your 10-year-old son or daughter, then you may want a very simple bike without gears or anything. Maybe they'll run errands going to the shop to buy things. I don't know, depending on what is the usage. If you are going to ride it 100 kilometers a day, or maybe 500 kilometers a week or something like that, then maybe you need to look at a completely different bicycle. How comfortable are you riding on the road? What helmet are you going to use? All these things are going to matter in the cycle of your choice. Exactly like that for your lifetime goals. See what suits you. You cannot copy my goals. You cannot copy somebody else's goals, right? So goal setting is step one in investing. Know yourself through goal setting. Thank you. How should I start investing? I feel very awkward to ask my parents about it. This is a 22-23-year-old girl. A lot of people in their 20s, especially boys, like to think that they will control the market, they will know what is going to happen, they will do F&O. And they start investing, right? So I know people who have invested their father's money, lost 80,000, 90,000 to old people. When I say old people, an 82-year-old who was lured into F&O by their RM, lost about 5-6 lakhs, which his argument is, I want it, I can lose it. True, but you cannot wipe yourself out and then wonder who will feed you, right? So you have to be responsible towards your money. So see what will work for you, and then accordingly you should be investing. Should you be doing F&O? Anybody watching this video, if they've already decided to do F&O, they will do F&O. If they've decided not to do F&O, they will not do F&O. I don't think my saying anything is going to matter. I don't personally do any F&O anymore. But I've been a broker, remember that. So I made money in F&O because my clients did F&O. So it's important to know what you want to do, how you want to do. Based on all that, you should start investing. And if you don't want to invest time in learning all this, then there is always index fund. Otherwise, you sit and learn, then you could invest in an index fund, pick up certain stocks, then you could go and put some mid-cap fund, some large-cap fund, right? You then can start doing all that. But ultimately, you have to invest time in yourself to know what is good for you, and then you make your start. Thank you. Welcome to Subramani. One question which a reader has asked is, what hurts the client the maximum? What hurts the investor the maximum? I think there are many things, but the first thing is aimless investing. They just go put money and suddenly one day they want to prove to the world that they are smarter than the fund managers, or whatever reasons. They'll remove money because they heard, oh my God, now there is going to be end of the world. Mr. Modi is going to lose in Gujarat or something like that, which is completely irrational. So behavioral finance, which means controlling your emotions, controlling your mind, having somebody to whom you can talk with. Need not be your advisor, could be a friend, philosopher, guide, your chartered accountant, your family doctor, your elder brother, first cousin. neighbor, could be classmate, could be anybody to whom you can talk and hold your emotions in check. That I think is the biggest worry for me in as an investor, why people lose money. There is one very important reason why people lose money, and that is not having adequate insurance for anything which can go wrong in their life. So there is somebody I know who got completely wiped out, and she had to sell her shares worth about 50 lakhs to pay for her parents' illness and subsequent death also, right? So you don't know what is going to happen. So medical expenses for which we are unprepared is a big killer. And then wanting to help somebody else when we ourselves don't know how to protect our portfolio. Oh, what could I do? My sister lost her father-in-law and they didn't have enough money, so I had to support, or something like that. I'm not even getting into right wrong. That's a time when you should be removing money from your own emergency fund, and or removing money from equity only if it's booming. Don't remove money, like say March 2020, somebody had an emergency and you sold all your equity shares. That would be perhaps one of the most harmful things you could have done for your own portfolio. So be careful about such moves. These are the things which really hurt a person. This is a good question. Why do you invest? Why do you ask us to invest in an index fund, whereas you have put all your money all over the place, that you have invested in equity funds, you have invested in direct equity, etc. First of all, I'm happy that you asked this question. Second, you have no clue about my portfolio. You've forgotten that I could have some PMS also, right? So largely I know what I am doing. I know I've reached financial independence. I know I can live off my dividend if I don't touch my portfolio, right? So my case is different, your case might be different. If you are here to create wealth, my kind of an approach cannot work, right? I don't need to create wealth. It will anyway get created because of the fact that I will not touch it for a long period of time. But really creating wealth, it is incidental to what I am doing with my life. So I will create, I'm not worried about that. But if you are very focused that you want to create wealth and this is how you should do, you should aim for simplicity. That makes more sense. I think Morgan Housel also says, again, he's in an active passive investment, right? He's got the Vanguard Total Index Fund and he's got Berkshire Hathaway. So Berkshire Hathaway is active and Vanguard is passive, right? So he's got into that. So you could also get into one index fund, one, 2, 3 other, some multi-asset fund, some flexi cap fund, whatever you want. You can do all that, provided you have the skill and willingness and time to do all that. And what works for, for Berkshire Hathaway, which means what works for Warren Buffett and for Charlie Munger, is largely active management, right? So they're willing to create a team which is actively managing their money. So they are willing to do that, so that works for them. If you don't have the ability, the scale, the time, the willingness to invest, then that approach will not work for you. So for you, indexing will work. So decide what will work for you and based on that you do. You can't copy what I am doing, right? I can take risk, I do take risk, I lose money. Right now there are 2-3 companies in which I am building a position for the next 10 years. Does it look good now? Well, they have market share, but they have no profitability, they have no visibility. I don't know what will happen to them, but I am building a position because all those uncertainties are built into the price. Therefore, I will build a position slowly. I will do a monthly purchase. Whenever the market is down, I'll buy more. If the market is high, I may actually sell. That's the way I build my portfolio. So each person has to choose for himself. You cannot copy what I am doing. I cannot copy what Rakesh Jhunjhunwala did. Rakesh Jhunjhunwala did not copy what Buffett did, right? So each person has to choose to do whatever they want, see what suits you and do accordingly. If you don't know, if you don't want to invest, if you don't want to do any of these things, index is ideal for you. Thank you. Somebody has asked me what is one piece of advice which is current wisdom which I disagree with. I think what I disagree with completely is this short-termism. Being called on television saying, oh, the rate of interest has changed, what is to be done? EMI has gone up, what is to be done? Car EMIs have gone down, is it a good time to be buying a car? I'm just unable to answer any of these questions, right? Because when I buy a share, I think I'm buying a share because I think it's a good business. So whether it is an airline or a food delivery business, I think I like the business. I know there is a big market for it. I know people who are consuming it, and so I know there will be growth. Will they make money? Will they have enough margins? Will they share enough with their shareholders? I'm presuming they will put corporate governance in place and all those things, and therefore as a fallout of that, the ROCE will improve, the RONW will improve, all those things will improve over a period of time. I'm willing to give it that much of time. Now, if somebody comes and tells you, buy low and sell high, I think you're setting yourself for a lot of disappointment, because you don't know what is going to be high, what is going to be low. If I'm buying a share at 65 rupees today, or at 800 rupees today, or at 2000 rupees today, I don't really care too much about the price. Of course, valuation is important, but largely I'm trying to say over the next 10 years, how much money will I make? And today I'm buying it at say 130 rupees. And I will keep buying every month, and I want it to go up to something like 10,000, 12,000 rupees over a period of next 10 years. I'm willing to look at it on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, whatever, or look at the quarterly results, read about the industry. I'm willing to do all that. So to me, buy high, buy low, sell high, all those look like trading calls rather than the investment calls. Then again, trend is your friend. I mean, to me it makes no sense. What does trend mean? Do you buy because everybody is buying, or do you buy because everybody is selling? Can you move against the crowd? It's easy to say, oh, buy when there is fear and sell when there is greed, but you don't know whether you're yourself being driven by greed and fear, right? Or regret, saying, oh God, I shouldn't have sold this. If I had just kept all my Apple shares, or all my Facebook shares, or all my Wipro shares, or all my TCS shares, what would have happened? Did you have the confidence? Did you know you were doing, like for example, TCS, I haven't sold anything from the original IPO, but the IPO itself gave me only 17 shares, right? So, but I could hold on to it because, okay, there is Tata Group, there is software, their income is in different currencies, right? When you know all those things are happening, you are reasonably confident that you will hold. But it is not true that you will hold every share that you buy for the rest of your life. You don't know the promoter, you do not know many of those things. Then you are worried, then you behave very differently. So, right, so everything doesn't work for everybody. So see what works for you and do that.